What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Black Couch Booking here with a new video, and today I'm making a video that I'm very happy to make. It has finally happened. Before I get into it, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for the support, man. I know, I'll be taking days and days, but I'm trying to, give you guys content, not too often because I don't want you to get oversaturated. But if you do want me to come back with the consistent uploads, multiple uploads per week instead of having a 1 or 2 upload per week schedule, comment down below, let me know. But anyway, guys, it's finally happened. The Women's Tag Team Championships are finally with the only legit women's tag team in the division, Jade and Katana. It's about time. I've been waiting for this to happen. I really genuinely think they're the best women's tag team right now. I know that doesn't say much because all the other tag teams are pretty random, but they're legit the best tag team and they deserve to have the belts. I've been waiting for this to happen for a very long time. And it's just nice to see. Triple H, he always comes around and does what he needs to do when it's time to do it. And we finally have the tag belts on a legit tag team. Now, if we only had Toxic Attraction still being a tag team and have them brought up to feud with them, I think that would work. But I do think I call them Dawn of Fire. That's Isla Dawn and Alba Fire to feud with them, and that would be a good feud. And I would actually like to see that match on a pay-per-view. We could try to really bring some traction to the women's tag team division. I think having them do ladder matches. Let's try to mirror, a Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian type of thing, where they do a certain type of match multiple times. And we do a part 1, part 2, part 3. Let's really put some prestige in the women's tag team division. I think that's the only way that, we can actually get something out of it, in my opinion. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time and it's no point. But they finally made the right decision. They put the belts on the right people, and that's that. But let's move on. Shout out to them, man. I'm very happy for them, genuinely. But let's talk about this roster. Is this the best roster that WWE has had in the last few years? I'm gonna say no. It's a very good roster. A lot of people are being utilized, at least just to be on TV, whether they win or lose. But I don't think it's the best roster in the last 2 years. I think I can't pinpoint the best year, but the best roster they ever had is when they had everybody and everybody was active. Think about it. You had Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, all active at the same time. Then you had the Naomi's active. You had the Liv Morgan's active. You had Natalia active. You had Ronda Rousey active. And there was still things for all of these people to do. You had Brock Lesnar active. You had Bray Wyatt active. You had John Cena coming back every now and then. You had an active Roman Reigns when he first got the belts. He was defending, more often than not. You had an active Sami Zayn, even though he had that gimmick, was a little bit goofy, the conspiracy, but he was very, very active. Kevin Owens was active. Everyone was very active around that time. I don't want to say 2018, 2019, because the budget cuts came during COVID, so I don't want to use that year. But let's say 2018, maybe beginning of 2019. I think that was the best roster. Now, obviously, they didn't have heavy hitters like a CM Punk or Cody Rhodes or even a Jade Cargill that's getting ready to come out. But everyone was super duper active. Like, that's the word for today. Everybody was super duper active, bro. There was so many people on that roster. Austin Theory was just, on the come up. That's when his cell phone gimmick had just started. He was very active at that time. And then you could look at NXT. That's when we had Mandy Rose. We had Toxic Attraction at an all-time high. That's when NXT was still going kind of crazy. I didn't like the change to NXT 2.0, but I did admit that they were putting on good matches and the gimmicks were matching what was going on. You know what I'm saying? We just moved on from Velveteen Dream around that time, if I'm not mistaken. So, I was looking at other guys to see who would take over, who would take the mantle, who would take the lead, of my favorite guy on NXT. That's just, when I just started getting into, the other people on NXT, besides the now we have, Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker and we had Grayson Waller and stuff like that. So I think this was a good time for wrestling. Definitely the women's division was super duper strong at that time. Like I said, you had a Mandy Rose as champion in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was lit. Alexa Bliss was still active around this time. Nikki Cross, her gimmick was still the superhero, but she was on TV a lot. Think about it. Like, I think in 2018, 2019, it's hard to beat, man. You had Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, on the horizon. That story was cooking up. Bianca Belair was on the rise. We knew she was about to become a mega star, during this time, first Royal Rumble appearances and things like that. I think around that time was like my favorite time in the last couple of years. But right now it's pretty good. I can say I am enjoying the product as of right now. And I can't complain. But what's the best roster? I'm gonna say back then, like right when the pandemic hit, because right before the budget cuts, I would say that was the best roster because they had everybody wrestling with no sound. Drew McIntyre was going crazy at this time. We still had The Fiend and things of that nature. So, Randy Orton was still doing his thing, cooking up. And that Fiend versus John Cena match at WrestleMania was a great match. And Braun Strowman was still active doing his thing. I think that was the best time, me personally. And the New Day was still had a lot of relevance at that time as well. The Usos together, it was a good time. I think that was just when Chad Gable and Otis really started the gimmick. They were full heel, if I'm not mistaken. If my timing is off, let me know. But that's the time that I personally thoroughly enjoyed. And last but not least, so we're doing 3 topics in this video. Last but not least, one more time, and I'm gonna reiterate this. I'm gonna reiterate this one more time, guys. I genuinely think that Jade Cargill should come back for the Royal Rumble, or should debut at the Royal Rumble. Her winning, the only way Jade Cargill should win is if she goes against she would have to go against Io Sky at WrestleMania and take the belt. I'm sorry. I don't think Jade Cargill should beat Rhea Ripley because one, I don't know if she can wrestle good enough to have a banger of a match with Rhea Ripley. That Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair match is one of the best women's matches I've seen in a long time. So I think her taking the belt off of Io Sky would be cool. So I think the story is going to be Bayley taking the belt off of Io Sky. I have a feeling that's where they're going. And what I would do, as I've said before, is I would take the belt off of Io Sky before that, and so I could do the 4 horsewomen and have Sasha Banks return. Whether that be at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, but who knows, man? Those are just my crazy, fantasy booking ideas. But you guys, let me know what you think, man. I'm very glad that the women's tag team championships are in good hands. The roster right now is cool, but man, that pandemic wrestling with the no crowd was fire. I don't care what nobody say. And I think Jade Cargill should be a contender to win the Royal Rumble, if not Sasha Banks. So let me know what you guys think, though. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you like this format of me doing multiple topics in one, or just sticking to one topic the whole time. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.